Hi y'all, this is 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗦𝗧𝗢𝗡 with 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗏, and today I'm bringing you a local neighborhood market update for the Woodlands, which can be found in Spring, Magnolia, and Conroe here in the North Houston suburbs. After that, I'm going to tell you why I love the Woodlands and why you might fall in love with it too. So today I'm bringing you something for the buyers, sellers, and investors. So let's go ahead and dive in. The statistics that we're going to cover today are average price per square foot on these sold homes, the current number of active listings, median days on market, average sales price, list price to sales price ratio for the sold homes, and whether it's a buyer's market or a seller's market. So let's jump right in. We have 317 active listings here in the Woodlands. We have 154 pending, which is insane. And in the last 6 months, 668 homes have sold. So this is a very hot market. Everyone really wants to live in the Woodlands. Our price per square foot is going to be higher compared to other neighborhoods. We're seeing $247 per square foot, which this range is between, this average comes from the lowest $87 all the way up to $610 per square foot. Our sales price, we're seeing between $144,000 and $5 million. So huge price range here in the Woodlands. And that corresponding square footage is going to be, well, we have 1973 to 2025. So square footage is 1922 all the way up to 31,000 square feet. So I feel like that one is a typo. That is a very huge house. But our average days on market is 19. Our list price to sales price ratio is 98 to 99%. And is it a buyer's market or a seller's market? Anything under 3 months of inventory is going to be considered a seller's market, and anything above 3 months of inventory is considered a buyer's market. We have 2.85 months of inventory. So if you're looking at a specific price range, most likely if you're on the middle to lower end of the price range in the Woodlands, you're definitely going to find yourself in a seller's market. As you branch up to that higher price point, it's more of a buyer's market. So there aren't a ton of really expensive homes, but there are a handful, and those tend to sit a little bit longer just because there is a smaller buyer's pool. So why do I love the Woodlands? So the Woodlands, I talk about it all the time on the channel, so this might not be your first video to watch, but I love the Woodlands because it's master planned. It has the best schools out of all of Houston, which are just amazing. The walkability of the area, the commercial aspect, the restaurants, the churches, the education that's offered throughout the community. There's not just public schools, but there are tons of private schools, including one of the most popular private schools in all of Houston, Cooper. And so there are just so many amazing opportunities here in the Woodlands. George Mitchell founded it a little over 50 years ago. As a city or a community, it's really a township, but a community where you can live, work, play, pray, educate. There is just so much that this community has to offer. I once did a bike tour, which I always joke you must really like me if you watch this bike tour because it's like 3 hours long. But I biked around the Woodlands. I showed y'all Hughes Landing, the Waterway, Town Center, the mall, Creekside Park, which I am going to do a separate video for Creekside Park. So the Woodlands was developed in villages, and Creekside Park is one of the most popular, but the newest village, one of the newest villages in the Woodlands. But there are so many beautiful villages, and there's something different in every single village, and so there is something for everyone. The lake is at the center of the neighborhood, and it really gives this community life. But the restaurants and the people and just like the entertainment is amazing. We have the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion, which is one of my favorite places to enjoy live music. It's pretty much the only place I go. I feel so safe when I go there. Sometimes I'm cheap, but I'm not super cheap, but I love the lawn seats, which happen to be the least expensive seats. But I just love, not that you can really see the stars in the city, but I just love being under the stars. I'm really enjoying that atmosphere. I love a good restaurant, so I'm always up in the Woodlands eating or taking a walk. More recently, I did a sunset video. It's one of my favorite places to watch a sunset if I cannot get near the beach. So I love the Woodlands, and I know you do too. I know you will too. Sorry, I'm all over the place. When I start doing these videos, sometimes I'm a little spazzy. But I wanted to run through the amenities that are found in the township. There's 220 miles of hike and bike pathways. There are 220 miles of streetscapes. There's 4,448 acres of open space. This equates to 38.3 acres per 1,000 residents. This is 74% above the national average, which is super cool. There are, drumroll, how many parks? 151 parks in the Woodlands, which is insane. There is Texas Tree Ventures, which is that, like, not rope climbing, but you know those, like, when they put the ropes in the trees and you climb around them. There are 95 playgrounds, 80 tennis courts, 8 dedicated pickleball courts with more lines on the tennis courts, 74 pavilions, 43 sports courts, 37 basketball and volleyball courts, 14 community swimming pools, 8 splash pads, 2 boathouses, 2 recreational centers, and more than 60 annual events that happen all year round. Market Street is also one of my favorite areas. If you have not checked that out, that's tons of fun. That's where the humongous Christmas tree is. It's where my family's restaurant is. Also love Tommy Bahama's and 60 Vines, and there's a crepe shop in there, and there's tons of new restaurants popping up all the time. That's one of my favorite things about the Woodlands, is how good the food is. So you don't always have to go into downtown to have a really nice meal. I think so many of us, even if you live in south of the Woodlands in like Spring kind of proper or Klein, you're still going to the Woodlands at least once a week for some good food and good music and entertainment. And the shopping is amazing. It's probably one of my favorite places to shop. But yes, I love the Woodlands, and I know you will too. Again, my name is George Lacey with Joe & Co. And yes, I have 2 dogs. And I would love not just to be your realtor, but to be your resource. So if you are looking to buy, sell, or relocate, or invest here in the Woodlands or surrounding suburbs, I would love to be your realtor. All of my contact information is going to be down below, including a link to schedule a call with me. I really hope I get to meet you. I hope I get to learn your story. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, y'all.